Here's your pudding, Angelica.
Oh, that's okay, Uncle Stu. I'm not hungry anymore.
How could this happen to me? I made my mistakes.
This video is brought to you by viewers like you. Thank you. Make sure to subscribe and help get this video to 4,000 likes. Angelica is spending the whole week at Tommy's house while her parents go on vacation without her. Angelica is anxious for her parents to leave in hopes they'll come back with lots of presents, assuming they come back at all. As soon as her parents are out the door, Angelica tries to claim dominion over Tommy's house. She begs her aunt and uncle to take her to the zoo, presumably to watch the lion feeding. Stu and Dee Dee blow her off as they're in no mood to be bossed around by the bedwetting bully. Angelica makes an ass out of herself as she tries to get their attention.
For my next impression, Mr. Arnold Schwarzenegger!
Careful how you pronounce that last name. Even Tommy and Grandpa would rather sleep in front of the TV than dare to be conscious around the whiny weasel. Angelica changes the channel to the Soap Network, where she discovers people will pay attention to you if they think you're hurt.
I'll cater to your every whim until that leg of yours is entirely healed.
Wonder what she'll do with that nugget of information. Meanwhile, Stu is lamenting over his latest failed invention when they hear Angelica screaming.
Ow! Ow! Oh!
Angelica, what happened?
Turns out she pushed a bowling ball down the stairs and smashed a plant to fake a broken leg, cause I guess she's too big a coward to actually hurt herself for attention. They take her to the hospital, where Angelica gets x-rayed by a radiologist with a radiation kink.
It's kind of strange at first, but after a while, you get to like it.
Angelica is nearly caught in her web of lies until her x-rays get mixed up by Dr. Doogie Howser.
Maybe we should get a second opinion.
I may be young, ma'am, but I know a broken leg when I see one.
Here's your chocolate milk, Doctor.
Thank you.
I never realized how much the show was hated by its contemporaries. Back at home, the Pickles build Angelica a call button so she can get whatever she wants day and night. What could possibly go wrong? Tommy quickly deduces that Angelica is faking it, so the Munchausen miscreant uses her new power to make Tommy disappear for the rest of the episode.
Aunt Dee Dee, you can take the baby away now. I'm tired of playing with it.
Over the next 3 days, Angelica abuses the call button every chance she gets. She has her aunt and uncle wait on her hand and foot as the bedridden bitch slowly drives them mad.
I want to watch TV.
The only television in the house is the big 27-inch console downstairs.
I know.
Things come to a head when Angelica tells her uncle to get her some chocolate pudding at 3 in the morning. He goes to the store only to find they're sold out of pre-made pudding.
Stu, what are you doing?
Making chocolate pudding.
It's 4 o'clock in the morning. Why on earth are you making chocolate pudding?
Because I've lost control of my life.
Turns out Angelica doesn't even want the pudding anymore, and Stu nearly uses 1% of his power to wipe her off the face of the earth. It's day 4, and Stu is on the verge of a mental breakdown. Just then, Dr. Howser calls to confess he made a mistake about the x-rays. He reveals Angelica's leg was fine the whole time, and Stu burst into tears of joy.
Stu, what's the matter?
I'm just so happy.
Just then, Karma comes knocking to give Angelica a kick in the pants. Turns out Charlotte broke her foot on the rafting trip, and needs her husband and daughter to tend to her every need. Angelica tries to weasel out of her obligations when her father gives her a much-needed reality check.
Anything Mommy wants, Mommy gets. Understand? Angelica, do you know how to make chocolate pudding?
Let's review. Angelica bugged her aunt and uncle for almost a week because she can't stand to be anything other than the center of attention. When they refused to give in to her antics, she pretended to break her leg so they couldn't ignore her. She abused their sympathy by making them her personal slaves and drove them to the brink of insanity. And it was only when her ruse was exposed that Angelica finally got her just desserts. But that's still not as bad as the time Tommy turned Angelica into stone. The babies finish building their Alpha Blocks in-joke when Angelica comes in like a wrecking ball. Turns out all she wanted was to break their walls, because all she ever does is wreck me.
Did you stay up all night writing that?
I got to bed around 2:30.
This time, Angelica has taken things too far, because you never mess with another man's block tower. Angelica delights in her misdeeds, while Tommy swears vengeance upon her soul. Tommy is so upset that he wishes for the worst thing in the world to happen to Angelica, like drowning at sea or getting her own preschool spin-off. The other babies are against cursing Angelica, until they realize they'd be cursing Angelica. Tommy wishes for the wrath of God to rain down on his older cousin, and apparently God is on Tommy's side. Meanwhile, Uncle Drew arrives to pick up the pigtailed pain, but not before stroking her ego to full mast.
And how is my little angel today?
Just as sweet and perfect and lovable as ever.
What else could she be?
How is Drew Pickles not considered the worst dad in cartoon history? Drew asks his brother to look after a present he got for his wife, which turns out to be a sculpture of his personal deity.
A perfect representation of my little angel.
Yeah, a perfect representation in the sense that it looks like a giant kidney stone, sure. Stu insists on moving the scary sculpture outside, lest his house burst into flames around it. The brothers move it outside, where the babies are still playing unsupervised. The Rugrats are taken aback by the igneous eyesore, as they assume Tommy's wish turned Angelica into stone. Oh, if only we could be so fortunate. Tommy regrets his wish, for some reason, and vows to turn Angelica back into a real girl. Hooray! The babies try to hide the statue from Dee Dee, who's preoccupied by her husband's abrupt nudity.
Have you seen my underwear? I still can't find them!
Stu, put on some damn pants. I'm not here to be a prude, but how is this okayed by Nickelodeon? TVG my ass. And apparently Stu's ass, too. The babies load Angelica onto the cart and end up crushing Chucky's spine. Tommy ignores his best friend's cries of agony in favor of hiding the evidence. They discard her remains in the bushes as the twins insist they keep her stone forever.
I kinda like her this way. Me too. She can't pick on us anymore.
They got my vote. Tommy insists they turn her back to normal, as they have a duty to help Angelica, since she's their elder and confidant.
Plus, if we don't turn her back into real, we're gonna get into a lot of trouble.
There it is. Tommy tries to wish her back to life, only to realize you can't give life to something that never had a soul.
Angelica is rock, and rock she shall be made.
Amen, Chucky. Grandpa comes in with the hedge clippers, and the babies watch in horror as he nearly decapitates the solidified Satanist. Unfortunately, Grandpa ditches the shears in favor of his bingo buddy's booty call.
It's some woman named Morgana.
Ooh, well, why didn't you say so?
The babies move Angelica to the leaf pile and almost get caught by a barely decent Stu. They move her back to the wagon while Chucky assumes the position.
Okay, push her, Obby.
The babies try to bring Angelica back to life by treating the statue like a real girl, which apparently requires babies to splash food on your face. Is this something all women have to deal with? The babies assume they can fix her if they feed Angelica her favorite food.
What's the one thing she'd always eat even if she was made of rock?
I don't know. Children's souls? The babies try to steal the cookie jar when Drew comes back to pick up his little angel.
I love Chucky.
This is why you don't make Chucky the lookout. The babies rush to hide the statue and end up smashing it to pieces, even though all the other stuff they did barely put a dent in it. The babies weep over the shattered remains of Angelica. Not me, though. Ding dong, the bitch is dead. Unfortunately, the real Angelica returns and is immediately assaulted with baby smooches. Angelica and her father are horrified to find the statue in ruins.
What is it, sweetie? What's... Yeah! My $469.57 statue!
You spent $500 on that? Drew, what even is your job? We all know Charlotte's the breadwinner. Stu offers to fix the statue and manages to construct something that's slightly less terrifying than the original.
I call it Angelica descending a staircase.
I call it a mess.
Let's review. Angelica made her cousin so mad that he wished for the worst thing in the world to happen to her. When it seemed like his wish came true, the babies realized they liked the statue better than the real Angelica. They only agreed to change her back to avoid getting in trouble, but still ended up smashing the stone goblin to pieces. When the real Angelica found out what happened to her statue, she threw a hissy fit so big she nearly made the whole block go deaf. Angelica can eat it.
Wait!
Is there a cartoon you want me to talk about? Patrons who join my $10 tier can pick which shows I cover on It's Just a Cartoon. There's a limited number of slots available, so sign up now. Coming up next.
Angelica, stop it. Come on, now, come on.